Welcome to the Food Hoodie channel, where we make delicious food that's wholesome but actually pretty easy to make. So if you've just discovered my page, I'm so glad you did. Welcome, my name is Chai. Now that you've found me, go on, hit that subscribe button and also that bell button so you can be updated with my videos. Today we're going to make three things, yes, not one but three. We're going to start with date and tamarind chutney with a little twist that's got apricots in it, and it's a sweet and sour one. Next, we're going to make a really quick and simple roasted cumin powder. It's beautiful in many things. And then we're going to make this beautiful spring green coriander chutney. So they say 3 is a magic number, and these chutneys are definitely magical. They're a staple in most households, used in many things among chaats. So let's begin with the first one, which is a date and apricot chutney. And that is a little twist in there. These are the ingredients that you're going to need. So let's begin making this chutney, which we use a lot for chaats. So this is what you're going to be needing. Right, so I took some apricots. I put in 5 apricots into a bowl. Then I took 4 to 5 medjool dates. They were quite big ones. And then I obviously de-seeded them, put them in there. Then I added really hot water to the bowl and left it overnight, so you can see that everything is rehydrated there. And the next thing that I used is, let me just show you quickly, this, which is tamarind. So tamarind, dried ones, looks like this. And what I did is I put it in some warm water, washed it up, then I added it to this bowl and I added hot water again, left this overnight. So you can do these two together. Some chili powder, and this time I'm changing it up a little with a masala that I made, which is kind of like a kadai masala. So that's what I'm going to add in here, which normally they only add cumin powder, roasted cumin powder and chili, and that's it. But I'm changing it up a little with the apricots and then that masala powder. So it's really simple with this recipe. You're just going to whack all of this into a pan, and then you're going to let this cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now I know when they make this traditionally, it's made slightly different to how I'm making it. So really, by cooking it like this, I'm just saving myself some time, keeping it simple, but it's retaining the original flavor and not really compromising on that. So what you're going to do is bring this sauce down to a boil. So you want it from low heat to medium. You want to keep on giving it a good stir, and you want to make sure that the water is all boiled out. So you're going to keep on, like I said, you just want to make sure you don't burn it. And also, this is a pretty healthy sauce, because the original one calls for a lot more in terms of adding a lot more jaggery. Mine here will have a lot more sweetness coming from the dates and the apricots, so that's already good for you, less sugar. And this is the point actually where I'm going to add the spices, so that you cook it down further 2 minutes and then turn it off, cool it down, and you can blend it. Next up, as you can see, we're going to make the roasted cumin powder, which is super easy. You're going to take as much cumin powder as you like. This is probably like a little bowl full, and then I'm going to just dry roast it in a pan. Then once I've roasted it, you can see they're brown here, much darker and toasted, and then I've cooled it down in a plate. Once it's cooled down, I'm going to blend it up. Dropping a lot. Then it's good to go. You can store it up, we'll probably get better basically at this, inside a little jar, put it in your cupboard, and it lasts for a while. And you can add this in your marinades, in your raita. You'll see that a lot of my recipes, I add it into like hummus. Cumin powder. So as you can see, I've transferred all the cumin, and I've not scraped all of this because I was going to put some cumin in the chutney anyway, the green chutney, so I've just left that. Just make sure there's not a ton in there, otherwise it's going to taste a bit bitter. So here we are,
for the
on
chutney,
to the next
you're
one.
going to need ginger. I'm going to add around this much. And you just peel it off with the back of the knife. Like this, comes off super fast. Be careful not to flick the ginger juices in your eye. Very cleansing. I don't recommend it. But yeah, if it happens, it's very cleansing. So we're going to blend this, but just don't want big chunks. So I'm going to cut it up into smaller pieces. Doesn't have to be exact. And then I'm going to do the same with the apple. Again, the apple is not a traditional aspect. Some people put in mango, and since I don't have mango right now, and usually they add raw mango because it adds a certain tang to it. So I'm gonna, depending on how sweet this is, it's crisp, sweet, and a little bit sour. So I think we might only need half a lime. We are going to go in with the chilies. Now, a little tip, if you don't know how hot your chilies are, you can just cut one up. If it smells really hot, you know that it is really hot. So these are hot, but this chutney is not something that you eat by itself. It's accompanied with food. So I'm using 6 chilies, super spicy. And then with a coriander, you go in with a whole bunch. You don't even need to separate. But the only thing I do is if there's any kind of dead dud leaves. That would be hard to say. Super fast. Mind your fingers. Stalk and all. And the reason you're cutting this up is because you don't want it to kind of get stuck in the blender. I want this to be like a sauce. So this is semi-traditional. Again, I've just added things that I like along with what is traditional too. So the apple isn't. And then you're going to add in a little bit of sweet. So the idea is you have something savory, something hot, something tangy. Again, the heat comes from there. Then you're gonna have some sugar content. So this is jaggery, unprocessed sugar, bit of salt. Oh no, coriander's in there. And then the spice that you're gonna add is this, and I'm also like putting in a little bit of black pepper. So I'm gonna grind that in when I'm blending it. Let's not get that wet. That's it. We're going to add in all of this. So you're gonna go in with the coriander first, because the blade is going to be right at the top. So you want the blade to be blending in and really piecing up the harder parts. So I'm going to put the chili in next. Then I'm going to put in a mixture of the ginger and the apple bits. There we are. And I think that's my maximum capacity there. And then I'm going to squeeze in just a tiny bit of lime juice for now. What I might do is add in more later if it needs more, because remember I said the apple's quite tangy and sour already. A teaspoon of the jaggery. If it needs more, I can always add more. Actually, what I might do is add 1.5 teaspoons. There we are. And then the salt, I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon, because this is pink Himalayan salt and it tends to be quite strong and well, salty. Start with low. Yeah, needs a little bit of water. 1 teaspoon, 2, 3. Is add little at a time because you can't obviously take away the water. So get going now. And there it is. If you've made it really spicy, the best way to take the heat down is actually by adding more salt. So you have to keep this in the fridge. It keeps easily for a week. This is a no oil recipe. So satisfying, isn't it? Oh well. Did you see that? Oops. Totally missed the jar. There are so many little mishaps. Nothing is perfect, but it's perfectly fine. I can just clear this up. And there you have one very messy looking chutney, but it's actually really delicious.
Very delicious. So next up, what we're going to do is jar up the date, tamarind and apricot chutney. I need to make these names a lot snappier, don't I? So you want to make sure that your jar is really nice and dry and sterilized. You can do that by putting it in the microwave for about 10 to 15 seconds. Make sure your jar is microwave safe, and then let the jar cool down if it does feel hot. Also let your chutney cool down and give it a blend if you want a really smooth texture. And it's good to keep in the fridge again for 2 to 3 weeks. And you can put it in a myriad of things. It's really good in sandwiches as fillings, in chaats, in raita, in yogurt. It's really nice as marinades, as I've said before. Now, don't forget to do all those YouTubey things. Make sure you share this video with somebody who you know loves chutneys, and better still, who loves to make you chutneys. And give this video a like, and also I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think about this, or if you want me to make something else, comment down in the comment section, and I look forward to reading all those comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy, and bye.